Well, the elephant in the room. Everybody keeps wanting me to talk about it. Now, I want to start out by saying that I have no more information on this than anyone else, okay? I think sometimes people think that because I'm just some person who makes videos about Batman sometimes, that somehow I have these inside connections at WB, and like I'm working the wheelhouse here, like finding out information and not telling you guys. No, I don't know anything, okay? I'm talking about this from the perspective of a fan of these movies, of the DCEU, and I'm going to give you a little background on that and tell you what we're talking about. If you enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content. I appreciate it. We are getting close to 100,000. Would not be here if not for you. I've always said I just make these videos from the perspective of a passionate fan, no matter what we're talking about. And you guys, you're the MVPs. Now, here's the thing. New update. It came out actually on January 1st. I didn't talk about it for a while. I know it's old news. I know someone will tell me it is. But the DCEU is changing according to a rumor / insider update from Grace Randolph. Now, Grace Randolph has a track record that you can look into yourself. I have never spoken to Grace Randolph. People have such wildly varying opinions on her and who she is. I have nothing for or against her. I don't know her. But her inside source said that The Flash is Batfleck's final appearance. So this is the final time that we will see Ben Affleck's Batman. Now, to break that down first off, this is something that we saw coming for a long time, and Ben Affleck did recently say that he wanted to be done with the character. She also said that there will be old footage of Henry Cavill used on TV for Superman footage, and that there will be a new Justice League formed where Supergirl is seen as the new Superman, Keaton will be working with Black Canary, and will pick Batgirl as the new Batman stand-in, replacement, whatever you want to call it, and that this is new DC, let's be open-minded and give it a fair shot. The Keaton Black Canary Batgirl stuff obviously happens in her movie. To clarify, it's absolutely no fun to cover all these upcoming DC movies from a hateful perspective. It's just too draining, so yeah, to give you my perspective, I'm going to try my best to soldier on. And it's worth mentioning too, I am not saying this in a rude way at all, but some people have mentioned it, and I like being transparent. Grace Randolph is employed now by Rooster Teeth, or at least works with them. And to my knowledge, Rooster Teeth is currently a subsidiary of Warner Brothers. So I'm not saying that Grace Randolph is selling out and saying these movies will be good. I'm not even implying that. I'm just saying that it's worth mentioning those connections when they are there. A lot of people have been really mad with this report. And the first thing I want to mention is, again, it is an insider report / rumor. There are things that we already know that are true about this report, like Supergirl being there. Obviously, Keaton has been confirmed. All this stuff, not saying it's true or false, but always worth mentioning. With all of this, though, to break down how I feel about it personally, I am both hopeful and cautiously optimistic, along with a little bit worried about the future of the DCEU. And here's why. First off, we pretty much knew this was going to be the end of Ben Affleck's Batman. I know a lot of people are saying, well, maybe Snyder will come back. He'll convince him to come back. Look, I'm right there with you that I would have loved them to do 2 timelines, okay? And here's why. Make the people who are big fans of the Snyder stuff happy. I like a lot of that stuff. I'm not the hugest fan in the world, but, you know, I was one of the few positive reviews for Batman v Superman when that movie launched. My opinion on it has changed a bit over time, but I ended up really enjoying Zack Snyder's Justice League, for example, and even something like Jared Leto in it. I really liked that movie, and I think that it showed that if you give these directors creative control and freedom, they can make good stuff. So I would have loved to have seen a timeline in that direction, you know, leading up to the nightmare future with Batman and Joker and all these other things. And I would have loved to have seen this direction. You know, that is what a multiverse is about. You have diverging timelines. Just because the New 52 happens, or just because Rebirth happens, or just because whatever, it doesn't actually mean that you need to ditch and abandon the old thing permanently. This is a problem I have with modern Hollywood and modern writing, where I think often they think old thing bad, you know, if we're trying to move on. No, you can do both. You can do both. Zack Snyder's Justice League did have insane streaming numbers, and it had fantastic sales numbers for its physical releases on every single, you know, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, whatever. People bought the hell out of that, okay? So, worth mentioning that. I would support that. Secondly, though, Ben Affleck wants to be done. Okay, the guy is burned out. I don't think I need to get into 500,000 quotes from him, but he talked about it recently with his experience on set doing the theatrical version of Justice League and how much that kind of burned him out, along with the reception to BVS. You could tell that that bothered him. There's the infamous sad Ben Affleck meme or sad Batman meme. He's done, okay? I think that it's worth respecting that he wants to be done and leave the guy alone. I thought he was a cool Batman. I know some people are not going to agree with me. That's fine. I don't care. Cool. Good for you. I respect it. But he wants to be done. Let him move on. The place where this pisses me off is Henry Cavill. Okay, Cavill seems like he has always been open to coming back to work on Superman. Grace Randolph has said in the past that he was not, or that the problems behind the scenes were both parties, Henry Cavill and WB. I don't know anything about that. All I can tell you is that he was passionate about that character. If you watch the behind the scenes stuff, if you watch his interviews, if you watch the things that he said about it, he clearly was there for it and interested. And even with BVS, when the negative reviews were coming in, he was still positive about what they delivered to people. He was happy to be Superman, happy to be there, and it seemed like he wanted to keep playing that role. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with him. That's not really important to me. I guess what I'm getting at with all of this is my issue here is the legacy characters. Believe it or not, I seem to be one of the few people who now likes legacy characters compared to a lot of people. Sam Wilson, the Falcon in the MCU, fantastic legacy character, developed well, I believe, and done right. There are ways to do this, but I don't think that the way is to just drop them in at the last minute. That is my problem with this. There are people that are going to say this is a super political move. Maybe they're right. There are people who are going to say that this is a feminist thing. I don't know. Maybe they're right. But I don't even really see that angle of it as much as I see the problem with this being that if the universe does go this way, how do you drop in a legacy character, someone who's supposed to take over the mantle for something, and you drop them in last minute, and then you expect everybody to care? Because here's the problem with that. If you fumbled the pass on Superman, right? And even if you loved Henry Cavill's Superman, you loved Snyder, Superman got one movie. He got one movie, and then he was important in BVS, and he was important in Justice League, obviously, along with a little cameo in Shazam. One movie. Ben Affleck didn't even get one movie. He was important in BVS, he was important in Justice League, and he appeared for no reason in Suicide Squad, the original, okay? These people have not gotten films. There is no established legacy to hand down. Yes, I know. We know who Batman is. We know who Superman is. But these different versions of the character, they mean different things to different people. Red Sun Superman does not have the same legacy as All-Star Superman, does not have the same legacy as Henry Cavill Superman, does not have the same legacy as the Brandon Routh Superman, okay? They just don't. So when you are trying to pass down that legacy or that mantle, you need to establish this version of the character. That's what worries me about all of this, if this is true. I am trying to be open-minded. It's one of the reasons I did not talk about this yet. It's one of the reasons I'm not trying to come out here and overly bash on it, okay? It's not because I really look forward to my $100 box I've gotten from WB a couple of times for DC Fandom, okay? If they stopped sending that, I give half of it away to other people in my life anyway, like friends, kids at my mom's school who need stuff. I give them half the stuff in those boxes, like food or the hats or whatever, okay? I give the shirt away to my other friend. It's not like I'm shilling for WB when I say this. I want to go into it and I want to be open to liking this, but I have an issue with handing down a legacy when there's no legacy yet established to hand down. When you jump ahead too far, you do run the risk of a lot of people not being as invested. And I'm a little worried about that with these characters. I do have a silver lining and a positive note to end this on, that I will say I am still very excited for, and that is Michael Keaton. And a lot of people have said Michael Keaton is going to be used as nostalgia bait, then he's going to be thrown out. He's not going to be useful. He's going to come in for The Flash, he'll have a little part, then he's going to come in for Batgirl on HBO, and he's going to help Batgirl become the new Batman in this universe, and then he'll be done because he's old. There's people that are mad about that, and then there's people that are mad that we're not getting Batman Beyond because they're going to go this direction. I respect that. My thing with Keaton, though, is yes, he likes money, obviously, for the career he's in, but the dude doesn't just take roles for money. And before you disagree with me, just hear me out. Michael Keaton was supposed to play Batman in Batman Forever. The whole reason he left was he didn't like the script. He did not like the direction they were taking that character. He did not like the direction they were taking that movie. He wasn't there for it. So he dipped. He dipped on Batman. Okay? This was a guy who turned down that paycheck, who turned down that return as one of the most iconic film roles ever at this point, because he didn't like the way the story went. And yes, it is possible that WB funneled so much money at him that his morals went out the window. But to me, that speaks volumes about who he is as a man, who he is as a creator, who he is as a creative person, that he didn't just take a huge paycheck and come back just because I love money. He didn't. Now, with the legacy that they're building up with this Batman currently in the comics, Batman 89, my hope is that those comics will either be canon or able to be taken as canon if you want. I very highly doubt that in The Flash or Batgirl or any of these things, they will straight up mention those comics. I bet the best we'll get is an Easter egg, if even. But right now, those Michael Keaton Batman 89 comics are coming out. They are essentially the third Michael Keaton Batman movie that never made it to the screen because of the pivot to what would become Batman Forever. And they're pretty good. They've introduced a new Robin who's really cool and really interesting. He's a unique take on the character. They've expanded who Bruce Wayne and Batman are. They're getting into more stuff with their own version of Two-Face. They're doing a good job. You know, so my hope is that that is part of this established legacy. And honestly, it has been the plan to bring Keaton back for a little while. So I think that if that wasn't the plan, to at least make it open enough that you could take those things into canon or consideration as part of Batman's legacy, I don't personally think that they would have been greenlighting those comics at this point, because it would be a very confusing and weird direction to take it. But that's kind of my thoughts on all of this. I actually really love Batgirl, I love Black Canary, and I love Supergirl in the comics. But the difference with that is that they are well written over a course of time, and I'm hoping that they can still do that here despite what looks like a serious course correction, or what they consider to be one. I'm interested to hear your opinions down below. Again, this could all be false. Maybe tiny bits of it could be true. Grace could be 100% right. Maybe something changes in the meantime. I don't know. But I'm just talking to you about what we do have to talk about and my thoughts on it. Cautiously optimistic, a little worried, but hopeful that it will still be good because I want to like these movies. I love the Keaton Batman. I know he kills people. I get it. I still love that Batman. And I want to love these. I'm not going to go in blind to their faults, but I'm also not going to go in wanting to hate them. I just hope that it's better than a lot of people are making it out to be. Interested to hear your comments down below. Please be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more content. I appreciate you guys so much. Like I said, hitting close to 100K, and we have all these links in the description down below that we work hard on. A secondary channel, Degenerate Plays, where we play games together and hang out with you guys, where I appreciate seeing you guys. We also have, a thriving Discord. We have a Patreon, all kinds of stuff down there I hope you will check out. And my wife has a fantastic Etsy shop as well that goes to help support the channel. We love you guys. Have a fantastic day. And as always, stay shway.